Hi everyone, today we're going to work on our turning kick. Okay, in our last video we worked on our front kicks. We're going to do the same thing, working this say beginner level first for white belts, then for yellow belts, green belts, and then finally blue belts and above. So the first thing we're going to do working on is just the technique of the turning kick for our white belts to be practicing at home. Okay, a couple of things when you're doing this, again just like any other kicking, keep your guard up nice and high. Okay, and you want to make sure you maintain that good knee position. With turning kick, again, you're going to be hitting with the ball of your foot like you would for a front kick, okay? But in this case, we're going to be pulling our feet and toes back, okay, in order to leave that part of our foot. So as we're doing the kick, foot and toes are pulled back as you execute the technique, okay, to hit with the ball of your foot. So for the white belts, okay, as we're getting started, we're going to use our kicking leg from behind, hands up nice and high. First thing you're going to do is turn your supporting foot out. This is going to help you to pivot, okay? Just going to switch stance just real quick. First thing we do is we're going to put our foot out to pivot. Then we're going to bring our hands forward, okay, in order to shift our weight onto that leg. It's going to make it easier for us to lift our leg off the ground, okay? So turn your foot out first, shift your weight, switch your hands, and then from there your knee is going to come over and around in a nice big circular motion. And as you do that, you're just going to pivot a little bit more on that supporting foot, okay? So you're going to do a two-step pivot, one, shift, over, and then that second little pivot, just to get your hips out a little bit further, okay? Once you have your balance there, it's then time to execute the kick, okay? So turn, hands forward, shift your weight, knee over and around, get your balance first, then execute the kick. Once you've done, bring the knee back around, back where you started from. Try not to drop that knee, okay? So as you're doing the kick and pulling back, try not to fall down in front, okay? We want to control that kick all the way out and then all the way back around to where it started from. Okay, if you're having difficulty doing this, okay, an easy thing to do to practice is to use a little bit of help. Okay, you don't need a person for this, but you can use a chair. All right. Here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, you can use this to help your balance. Okay, so if you're falling over, you can help control yourself in order to do the kick. Okay, the other thing you can do as you're getting more practice at this kick, you actually use this to help your knee position to kick over the top of. So a simple thing to do is to place the chair in front of you, okay, into your sparring stance, turn the foot, shift your weight, knee over the top of the chair to execute the kick, and then back around, okay? This just helps you to get that knee in that round motion, okay? So you don't want to be coming up into the chair, it's that over the top motion that you want in order to get that turn with the turning kick, okay? So as you're practicing for white belts, it's the easiest way to start with, okay? Give yourself a bit of help, okay? And nice controlled movements all the time, and keep your balance and keep your hands up. Okay, for our yellow belts, okay, we're going to be looking at our forward leg and our rear leg, okay? Just like the front kick, okay? One's for speed, one's for power, okay? So when you're doing a forward leg front kick, okay, from this position here, okay, again, you just want to bring that heel in, okay, as you lift your knee up, okay. It avoids that lean back first, which telegraphs the kick, okay. So drop the heel to lift the knee, okay. So drop, lift, then execute the kick, okay. Keep the sideways motion of the foot going, which means you need to pivot. If you don't do that pivot, you end up kicking upwards. Get that pivot, gets the hips over, okay, in order to keep your foot nice and flat when you're executing the technique, okay? So as you're doing this, pay attention to the angle of your foot, okay? So look at what you're doing, drop it in, lift, make sure your foot is nice and flat as you're executing the technique. Lift, kick, and then down. Lift, kick, and then down. Of course, hands are always up there for balance, okay? This is a speed kick, okay? So when you're practicing it, once you've got the motion of getting that foot to drop and knee to lift, okay, you then start speeding it up, all right, and pulling that kick back nice and fast, okay? Just like the front kick, you want that full range of motion with your foot, okay? Don't do a half kick, okay? You want to be out here going half kicks like this. You want to lift, full pullback, full extension, and full retraction, okay? Up, kick, and pull back. Once you've done the forward leg turning kick a few times and you're starting to get pretty confident with it, you can then go forward leg turning kick, rear leg turning kick, okay? So same thing, drop, kick. As you place it down, shift that weight through, pull the rear leg, and then pull back. 1, 2, and then back. 1, 2, and then back. If you want an extra level of difficulty and control, try doubles, try triples. Okay, kick, 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 and pull back. Making sure that you maintain that nice knee position. Don't let your knee drop after you kick. Okay, keep it up nice and high. 2, and keep those hands up nice and high. Okay, so for yellow belts and green tips, you don't have a lot of turning kicks in your basics and patterns, right? But good repetition with this kick. It's a very easy to use kick, very easy to use little combination. Forward leg, nice and fast, and of course, if you've got the flexibility, you can start kicking a little bit higher as well. Okay, good luck with that one. Okay, so the next part's for our green belts and blue tips. Okay, for this section we're going to look at the change of height for the kick. Okay, and when we come through the change of height for the kick, we're also going to look at changing our foot position and changing our striking area as well. Okay, when we're going low, okay, for example, if we're going to be hitting towards the thigh, we don't need to pull our toes back and hit with the ball of our foot. We can actually point our toes and now start hitting with the shin part of our leg, okay, in order to hit the thigh. When we're going for the head, okay, you're quite welcome to pull your toes back and hit with the ball of your foot, okay, but a good safety option for yourself, just so you don't hurt yourself on hard bones, okay, is to point your toes and hit with the instep of your foot. We do this for a couple of reasons. One's for safety for you and one's for safety for them, okay. So this time when we're doing our kicks, we're going to have two different foot positions. We're going to have the ball of the foot position and we're going to have the instep position, okay. First kick we're going to look at is the thigh kick, okay. So thigh kick is a kick that goes to the thigh, all right. And this particular kick we're going to be hitting with our shin. A big mistake that a lot of people make when they're doing this, okay, is they still neglect to pivot, okay, as they're doing the kick, right, which fails to turn their body and turn their hips into it, okay. You still need to pivot that supporting foot in order to get power in that kick. Otherwise you end up just twisting like this and nothing works, okay. Another common mistake that people do when they execute a thigh kick is they drop their forward hand. As they do it, they end up dropping this low, okay. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple of reasons why that is a really, really bad idea. And to help me demonstrate that to you, I'm going to ask Joe to come out and give me a hand. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
All right. So if we go into our sparring stance, okay, a thigh kick is a very close range technique, okay. So when we're doing this, okay, we're going to end up very, very close to our opponent, which means if that forward hand drops, okay, we're going to leave our head open for the person to counter straight away, okay. We need to make sure that that forward hand stays up nice and high, okay, to stop that lead hand and the other hand from collecting this in the face, okay. The other thing that a lot of the green belts need to work on is the height of that thigh kick, okay. A lot of people kick way too low, okay. Remember, you're trying to hit the shin to their thigh, okay. So shin to thigh, all right, is what you're going to try and aim for, okay. Shin to thigh, all right. Make sure you get that pivot over, all right, as you're executing the technique, okay. So that's really, really important for when you're doing thigh kicks and when you're practicing it, okay. The next option for your turning kick height is obviously to the head, okay. So when we're looking to the head, we need to have a little bit more distance. I'll get you to step back a little bit from the Joe. When we're looking to the head, okay, same thing. This one relies more on your flexibility. So for some of you, you may have to lean back slightly as you execute the technique, okay, in order to get that leg up a little bit higher. There's nothing wrong with doing that, okay, as long as your balance comes back up nice and quick after the kick is completed. Don't stay leaning back, otherwise you'll fall over and lose your balance very, very quickly, okay. So same thing, pivot, all right, point the knee, extend the kick, okay, over, kick, pull back, and down. It's a good drill. Practice the 3 heights. Go low, go mid with the ball of foot, and then go high with the instep of the foot to the head, okay? Each motion is the same. Don't try and change anything just because you're changing the height of the kick, okay? Good luck with that one. Keep practicing, keep drilling it, okay? Change your heights up. Okay, so the last one we're going to look at is for our blue belts and above. We're going to look at 2 aspects of this. We're going to look at our power in order for our fitness and board breaking, and we're going to also look at some variation, okay? First thing we're going to look at is the power, okay? Now when we're looking at power, we're looking at our pad work, okay? So if you have something to hit at home, like a punching bag, or if you have a strike shield that someone can hold for you, make sure you try and get a little bit of work done on those. Big important things when we're doing that is we need to really involve our body a lot in order to develop that power. It's called turning kick because you turn your body and that's what's going to develop your power. So the more you turn your hips and shoulders into it, the better it's going to be. The other really important thing here that a lot of people neglect to do is to get a really, really sharp, fast pivot. That's just going to help push those hips into that technique a lot more. So as you're doing the kick, okay,
as you're leading through nice and strong with your upper body, try to get a really fast ripping pivot, okay, in order to get those hips over nice and fast. That's going to help you get that impact into the strike shield. If you don't work on that pivot, you're kind of pulling yourself back and away from it. I'm going to do a couple of quick demonstrations here with Joe on the pad, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so as we're doing this, okay, again, we want that full rotation. The thing people get wrong with this is they try and hit it too hard and they start pulling things back away from the direction of power. So they start kicking, they stop pivoting, and they pull their lead hand down like we were describing before when we were doing thigh kick. Make sure you don't do those things. Keep that forward hand up as you're coming through, right? So it stays in front, so you've got more shoulder rotation and more power going into it. And again, we work on that ripping pivot, okay, in order to really penetrate into the strike shield or the punching bag if you're hitting a punching bag, okay? So lead fast, lead strong, and rip that pivot into the strike shield for nice, strong kicking, okay? Thanks, Joe. The next thing we're going to look at is variations on our turning kicks, okay? Variation on turning kick basically comes down to the angle of execution. So the two that we're going to look at, okay, is we're going to look at a 45-degree up angle and a 45-degree down angle, all right? So when we're doing these particular kicks, it's not as necessary to get your knee up nice and high, nice and early, except for the second one, but same thing. The direction the knee goes is the direction the power goes, all right? So as you're coming through, knees lifting up, you can see my foot is lower than my knee, and the kicking power is going to be coming up, okay? This is really useful for coming up underneath ribs, okay? I'll just get Joe to demonstrate that for me as well so you can see where this is supposed to be targeted, all right? So we're just trying to slip up underneath that gap, okay, into the ribs in order to get that shin nice and close into the body, okay? So ripping up that nice angle, okay? Second one we're going to look at, I'll use you in a second. Second one we're going to look at is the downwards, okay? This one requires a lot more pivot, okay? To do this one, your hips this time actually need to turn all the way over to get your power going down. So you need to pivot more. So as your knee comes up, you need to pivot all the way over so your hips are now facing the opposite direction, okay? So we come up, pivot over, and then we're coming down. So when you're practicing this one, okay, good thing to do is actually put your foot in front after the kick. So don't try and pull it back, okay? Up, over, and then put it down in front, okay? And make sure that you're basically facing a sparring stance in the opposite direction, okay? So up, over, and then down into your sparring stance in the opposite direction, okay? Demonstrating again the purpose of this one, okay? This one's just on to come up and over the guard and hit down across the neck, okay? Up, over, and then down, okay? So this one we call a whipping kick, okay? The first one, this one here, one that goes to the body, we call a shutter kick, okay? So if your instructor is calling these by name, shutter kick is the upwards 45, whipping kick is the downwards 45, okay? So the two kicks again, upwards 45 and downwards 45, okay, are two really good variations on turning kick for you to practice as well.